Hello again, Infernoble friends. Like I promised, this is the video where we discussed the deck list, the choices, how much engine, how much non-engine, what type of cards should we fit in the extra spots, in the extra deck, the side deck, and more stuff. But before we start, just a quick reminder, I am doing coaching sessions, so if you're interested, if you want to know the details, just text me on Discord. I'm putting my Discord username in the description of the video. And without much more to say, let's begin. Well, so this is a big surprise for you maybe, because I am suggesting that you should play 15 vanillas. Not really. Okay, so we are going to go first the main deck, then the extra deck, then the side deck. What do we see in the main deck? So basically I'm just trying to tell you that these 25 engine cards are not cuttable, are not optional, they are a must. You just have to play these 25, no questions asked. You have to play at least, I am telling you, at least the connected package, the one Oliver, one Renault, the one Flint for utility, the one Oliver for utility, same with Retardero and Torpin, the one Maugis for cycling the engine, to draw an engine, the one Gearfit, because you know, like everything should be self-explanatory. You need at least 2 Durandals. You would say, no, you need at least 1, but the thing is, you need at least 6 equips. 6 because sometimes you mill 4, sometimes you hard open 1 because you have the 6 plus the 3 museums. So more often than not, you open 1 equip, and if you open 1 and you mill 4, that's already 5, and in the next turn you 1 for the Isol mill 1 or for the museum search 1. So yeah, you need 6 names. Of course, then Maugis can put back equips, but we try to not get to that point, like to be forced to mill Maugis when the optimal line is not. Sometimes the optimal line it is mill Maugis, but it depends on the scenario. Anyway, so 6 equips, and after these 5 that are a must, the 6 best equips was just a second copy of Durandal, so this is like the minimum you have to play. Then the heritage, you have to play 3 at minimum. Sometimes people argue, no, at minimum should be 1 museum or 2 heritage because you don't want to draw multiple. No, with heritage it's different, because heritage is better than Rora, because it is also 1 card combo going second because it's museum. It has a utility graveyard effect to record itself. It can be better than Rora because under draw you can still grab from the graveyard, and it can be a starter, Ogier, or extender. So of course it has to be a trio. Like if you open 2 of these, it is fine, like it did its job. And the museum, yeah, I think 3 is correct. Like the minimum amount should be 3, because if you play 1, you only rely on Angelica, but then they ash Angelica or whatever, and then it's useless. You would say, no, but you have 4 copies with heritage. That's great, but trust me, you just want the 6 copies instead. And why not terraforming? Because that plays into the role worst, because when you search museum of terraforming and they draw, then it's just a brick. If you activate museum, search Durandal, they draw you, that's still 2 extenders, because Durandal has a graveyard effect to revive, and then museum last effect is life. So there is a big difference. So of course you can play terraforming, it's just not inside the 25 mandatory cards that I evaluated. Okay, so this 25, and that means that you have to play 15 on engine? No, but you could take this as an example of maybe what to do post-side. Sometimes post-side we want to have 15 non-engine, especially against heavy combo decks maybe. But yeah, you don't need to play 15 non-engine. This is just an example. So what's my suggestion is really simple. Take these blue eyes that are super cute and change it for 3 more engine pieces. That could be between more copies of Renault, more copies of Red Layer, a copy of Red Layer at least, more copies of Ogier, the copy of Terraforming, more copies of Gearfit. The extra engine is up to you, alright? I don't wanna tell you what's the best one, because I test a lot and I have tested different type of engine here. And then the 12 should be non-engine, maybe, but also you could get away with just playing 3 more engines. So you could add 6 engine and play 9 non-engine and be fine. Less than 9 non-engine, that's dangerous territory. I don't recommend it. So I recommend you to play between 3 and 6 more engine pieces, and then between 9 and 12 non-engine in the main. That's like the optimal. And if you're running 12 non-engine, then I have another advice. Try to use a playset, or at least like 3 cards that are non-engine but help in some capacity going first. We are going to see that when we move to the side deck. Alright, so now let's talk about the extra deck. As you can see, we are seeing only 9 extra deck cards. That's because this is mandatory, non-negotiable. Like, you just have to play these 9. I didn't explain it in the main deck because I think it's obvious. We are trying to build the pure variant here. Like, if you wanna play Mikankos, Record Slayers, what else? Adventure, Revolution Synchron, Kashtira, be my guest, do it. But after testing every variant, I just decided that this type of pure is just more competitive. As we can see, just one Angelica, one Roland, Charles, Fleur, Standard, Dempsey. Why no Artorigus? Again, this is mandatory. This allows you to play when they Ash Connector or Imperm Connector and you just have Durendal or Museum Connector, then Durendal into Flint, and then you just make Dempsey and make the basic combo. And of course, Dempsey comes up a lot in the freestyle because it can mill under draw, it can search different type of cards, not only Renault. So to Charlemagne, you just have to play 2 because almost every combo ends on 2 of these. 2 Isols, not only because they can imperm or Veiler the first effect and then you just make the second one, but also because going second they can out the first Isolt and you just make the second one, or because in the grind game your game plan should be Isolt to make Unicorn access code into OTK. What should you play in the 6 flex spots? In the extra deck, my advice, try to solve the deck's problem. One of the biggest problems of the deck is going second. So I recommend you to just choose 6 cards that helps going second. Anyway, and now what do we have in the side? This is not a real side deck, this is just cards that I wanted to talk about. So if you fear Dark Ruler, if there is a lot of Dark Ruler in your locals or whatever, or that's your meta call, then you just have to play this package. And these 2 cards allows you to negate Dark Ruler easily. Especially if you want to play, I don't know, Pendulum variants because of the Secret Village, because of Dark Ruler, okay, then you just play these 2 cards. But a lot of time, to be honest, we beat Dark Ruler. Because if they Dark Ruler your board, but they don't put an unbreakable super heavy board, we just break it back with engine, with a lot of follow-up. Also, you can still get your non-engine, and if you have 12 hand drops there in the main deck, you open 1 or 2 Maugis draws 2, you could still have defensive options, you could Dolphin Grip the engine. If you play TTT, you could TTT away the Dark Ruler, so you don't automatically lose to Dark Ruler as people think. But and also it's not popular in the format, at least to my knowledge. But if you fear about it, just play this in the side. And there's a lot of combos to utilize the Battling Boxer package. It's not just Isolt Summon it. It can be milled of Angelica, of Ogier. It can be summoned back with DDR, with Joy from hand, with Durendal from the graveyard, with Ricardero. Yeah, there is a lot of ways to access this guy, to be honest. Anyway, now these 2 card package, Mikanko. So if you fear a lot of back row decks, a lot of skill drain TCG, usually we lose to TCG and skill drain. I mean, we can still put big bodies, we can make Gear Fit Beatdown, but we don't full combo anymore. This is the only engine out to those floodgates. How do we out the skill drain? You just use Durendal to search this guy, put another body, make Isolt mill Shidori, use the graveyard effect to revive this guy, attack, Shidori effect, bounce skill drain. 2 card combo. How do we beat TCG? Same. Durendal search this guy, summon it, equip anything here, use the effect, search Shidori, equip it, attack, bounce TCG. 2 card combo. So this is something that I know is possible. I only did it at the beginning of the format. I mean, I was testing this in the main, then in the side, then realized it doesn't come up enough for me. But if I were in a local with a lot of back row decks, I would take it another consideration. So just so you have in mind, this is doable. This is engine out to floodgates that we usually don't out. Then, okay, some extra example, like I told you, my approach to the flex spots are just utility going second. This is what I think you need. That means I'm playing this 5? Not exactly. I mean, Apollousa is not for going second, but Unicorn Access Code, Goki, Zeus are some of popular choices that I already seen in a lot of builds, and I recommend you to test them, to try them, so you have a better going second. What about playing double Angelica, double Roland, double Charles? So some people did it because of Kashira. I don't think Kashira is a thing anymore. But even when they did it, you don't need double copies. Like Angelica can trigger when a special summon, so you can DDR Durendal summon it back. She can trigger effect to vanish 1,000 times even if you don't play more Rolands. You just don't summon anything, but you still mill and protect this. So the second Roland, I have combos where we can utilize second Angelica or second Roland to make the combo even better. But I realized most of the time in my going first combos, the second copies were win more. I even have a video of Ogier Museum that utilizes double Angelica, but then I discovered an even better line to beat Nibiru there that doesn't utilize double Angelica. When about Appaloosa, you don't need it. Okay, this is going to sound crazy for you maybe. If everybody thinks you need Appaloosa to beat Nibiru with connector or not, you can still beat it without Appaloosa, but it's just a different type of combo line. But that's something that I don't want to teach here. That's something that I say for my coaching. But feel free to try to find it yourself. Again, Appaloosa not needed to beat Nibiru. Appaloosa have some pros though. What's the pro for Appaloosa in real life? You save time, because if you summon Appaloosa and then keep comboing, they probably scoop early. And also save brain power, because these combo lines I'm telling you to beat Nibiru are complex, have a lot of variants, and it takes away a lot of brain power. So if you are playing like 7-8 round event, of course you can just play Appaloosa and go monkey and no thinking. And that's not a bad thing, by the way. Like, save brain power to use it on another situation. Like, we need to be aware of the brain power that the decks requires, and everybody can get mentally drained after a lot of rounds. So Appaloosa saving brain power, it is important. Like, it matters. Okay. But not needed. Anyways, Zeus mostly needed with TTT. Of course, we can make some rank 4s or rank 1 and make Zeus going second. So I recommend you to try that. At first I was testing Fuko or Baguska. You know, those are really good, like trying to attack and getting to the attack. Or maybe an Exiton, because Exiton is like a second Zeus. Like, because you cannot make downer when we are making rank 4s. So yeah, that's my advice. And now for the non-engine, like I told you, if you try 12 non-engine in the main, I recommend you to try something that is good going first. So I have some non-engine that are good going first here. Small World, self-explanatory, but it has to be paired with hand traps mainly, not imperm, just maybe 9 monster hand traps, maybe one Kurikara or a Kaiju or a Lava Golem. I would rather Lava Golem in the side. Anyway, because going first you can search connector and pretty much anything that you need. Just play Ash please with this, because Ash is a perfect bridge. Prosperity, I made a short or a post not long ago where I explained that, yeah, it was a post where I told you that Prosperity is insane here because we're probably the only deck that can OTK through Prosperity. Every time people see Prosperity, they are like, oh, it's like that Dark Ruler, I'm surviving this turn. Not with us. Not if we put access code Charles Gilfrid. Yeah, Prosperity kinda conflicts with Mogis, kinda make these two cards, Prosperity Small World, kinda make us lose harder to roll, so just be aware of that if you wanna play these cards. Like I'm showing you, we have 6 flex spots, so Prosperity is nice. I mean, you don't have to banish those 6. Like, if you see that your combo line doesn't require Fleur or Dempsey, you could also banish those. You could get greedy and banish the second assault as well. Then the Fenrir, it is like a non-engine, but you can summon it and then put equipped to search Ogier, that it is a good normal summon. It can search Rice Heart, which is also kind of engine, so it kind of helps going first. Makes you lose harder into Nibiru, so if you play Fenrir, you have to play Appaloosa, then it is not optional. Just so you make this as summon 1, Isolde is summon 4, Isolde summon maybe Turbine Ogier as summon 5, and then you just make Appaloosa with those. TTT is self-explanatory why is good going first. And then Book of Moon or Book of Eclipse. This helps to play around Imperm, especially on Angelica or Gearfried. So on Angelica, any of those books helps, because you set it and then Angelica resolves and get banished like set, face down, but it still summons your Roland, Mid, whatever you need. It is like using books on Flounderies, you know? And then Bookmoon does it better, because if you have a full board with Gearfried and they try to, I don't know, Imprem, you just chain Gearfried, they chain Imprem, you book your Gearfried, like your board gets saved, you just lose the Gearfried. And what else? Nibiru going first is good, because when you have the full board, you could have Durendal equip, Almace equip, Mogis equip. They waste all the resources to bait every interaction that you have, and then you Nibiru. You slap Nibiru, tribute your whole board, the opponent whole board, and then you trigger the Almace, the Durendal, the Mogis, get a lot of follow-up. And a wall, because Durendal can revive Reach in defense, that can revive Renault in defense, or Ogier in defense, and any of those two still pluses. Then, I don't know, Ogier mill Mogis draw, or mill Turpin follow-up, or Renault grab DDR, so yeah, it's amazing if you set up correctly. I think that's everything I wanted to cover in the main deck. So again, you need to build it for yourself. I cannot show you like a full deck list, because I am changing my deck list a lot every day pretty much. Also, I save it for the coaching, while I try to hide that, as well as the advanced combos of how Uplose is useless, or how to freestyle with a Flamwell counter trap, that, like I'm telling you, I don't do it, but I know how to do it. And if you fear that ruler, of course, just run those cards, please. Anyways, I think that's everything I wanted to say. Please utilize the extra deck for going second, and the flex spots in the main deck as well. Try to utilize generic non-engine at first, I don't know, Ash Imprem TT, Eclipse, maybe TT Crow is also kind of generic, if the best decks are like Enchain and Purely. But of course, you need to have a good read of your meta call. That's the most important part. How to utilize the flex spots in the extra deck, the flex spots in the main deck, and the side deck to the best of your abilities. It is with a good meta call, right? So I think that's everything you needed to know. Now you should build a proper deck list and make the community proud. I hope you get some good results, and my next video is probably going to be 1 or 2 combos or more replays. So that's still to be defined. See you later.